Hello friends, my name is Habib. Today we're going to learn adding player health, particle effect and sound effects to our wave shooter in Godot. So first, open your wave shooter project in Godot. You see that I already have it opened. Open up Godot and then click on your wave shooter project. Now that you've opened it, there's a problem. When the enemies touch the player, nothing happens to the player. So we need to add player health. Click on our player area _enter to connect. What this does is that if any other area to these, like this one, touches, if any other area to these touches it, then anything inside of this function is going to run. So write HP minus equals 1. But the variable HP is not declared yet. So to declare the variable, write var HP equals 3. There we go. So now HP equals 3, HP equals 3, HP equals 3. I'm going off guard. That's what I'm meant to do. So anyways, so you have to make it so that if the player's health is less than 0, then it is going to delete the player. Before testing it, we also have to add a HP identifier that allows us to know what the player's HP is. So to add a label, this is going to say HP health. HP. Let me add a semicolon. And then I am going to copy this HP, and then I'm going to write 3 here. Now we are going to change this later on, but this is fine for now. So now you have to set $HP.text. You have to set it to str HP, which converts the HP to a string. Let me run this. What is happening? When we shoot bullets, our player's HP is reducing. How is that possible? Ah, I see. You just said that if any area enters the player area, which is this, then its health is going to reduce by 1. But we didn't specify what area should enter it. So write area.name equals, if then area.name is equal to enemy, which means if the enemy area is touching it, enemy area is this, then only then its health is going to reduce by 1. So I'm going to increase the health by 1 to make it look more natural, since it's pretty unnatural seeing that when your health says 0. Now let me test it. But when the player dies, the enemies keep moving. So to remedy that, I'm going to write too lazy to remedy it. So anyways, now that we got our health system working, it's time to add some particle effects. Now we need a particle effect for when the player shoots. Create a new GPU. No. Create a new GPU particles 2D and name it part. Shoot. Set the process material to new particle process material. This will allow us to actually make the particle effect. First, we have to increase the size of the particle effect. 20 should be enough. And now we have to set the but you see that our particle effects are falling down. When we shoot, we don't want it to be falling down, so set the gravity to 0 and set the velocity. The velocity is the speed of the object. And now we want it so that they will go all around. Now if we set the self-spread to 0, then it is going to be going in a straight line. This is the angle of the particles, the angle at which the speed is applied. If we set this to 180, then it's going to be spreading in all directions. Let me increase this to 30. But now, it doesn't really look like the player is shooting, since it needs an instant burst, just an instant burst. So, no. Set explosiveness to 1. Now, it looks much more like the player is actually shooting than just spraying out a bunch of stuff. Currently, this is too slow, so I'm going to set the speed scale to 3, which increases the speed. You see that the particle effects, they look very unnatural, since they just disappear. Set a scale curve. The scale curve will allow us to animate the scale. At this point here, it is 1, it's the scale of 1, and this point here is the scale of 0. So we want it to animate from 1 to 0. Let me increase the scale maxed to add a bit of randomization. And the last thing we're going to do is create a new gradient texture. Gradient textures allow us to animate the color. This is point 1 and point 2. Yeah, okay. This isn't really visible, so I'm going to make the effects lighter. Let me also change the alpha. There we go. Now currently the particle effect is emitting. This emitting is whether the particle effect plays or not. So I'm going to set this to off. We only want this particle effect to play when the player shoots. So write $sign. First we have to get this shoot variant node. So drag it here and then write dot emitting equals true. And then write else, which means if we're not pressing the mouse, then shoot dot emitting equals false. Uh-oh. Something terrible happened. Oh no, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. Sometimes the effect the effect doesn't really work. So we can change this to shoot.emitting equals true to shoot.restart, which basically restarts it. Now it makes it look like it makes it look more like the player shooting. See that there's the problem. So that when we shoot the particles, what? No. Hiya! So now we also have to add a particle effect for when the enemies get defeated. So Copy this GPU particles to D node. Now here's the player. Here it is. Now copy it, then paste it into the enemy scene. So now we want to change the color of this from gray to green. So change the color of it to green. Just click on this eyedropper tool. That is the eyedropper tool. It allows us to select colors. Probably. Now let's select this color again. And now we also have to change the scale to make it look more natural. Increase. And now let me also change this opacity to 0. Make it look more like the enemies, dying. Hitting to false. Now we could hard code it by hand, but we can just use an animation. No, not an animation tree. An animation player 2D. Animation player 2D allow us to create animation. Create a new animation, naming it dead. And now in this dead animation, I click on the shoot, and then I can keyframe the emitting. So I'm going to set the emitting to on and then keyframe it. And let me set the duration to 0.2. Let me see what's the duration. I guess I'm keyframing it to 0.2. Too long. 0.1 then. I think to false. Yeah, that seems like enough. Now let me also turn one shot on so that the animation only play once. Yeah, that's enough. So now we want it so that when this animation player is finished playing its animation, we want the enemy to disappear. So click on animation finished, connect, which means that when the animation is finished, then Q_free is going to delete the enemy node. Score free. Now we also want it so that when the HP is less than 1, it's not just going to Q_free. It is going to set velocity to 0 since the enemy is getting defeated. Set 0 to 0. And if HP is not less than 1, then do this. Let me remove this dot rotator since it might cause for some errors. Well, now, currently animation, this just happens. Yeah, nothing interesting really. So go to our mesh instance 2D, and now I am going to go to text, go to material. No, go to visibility. Keyframe the visibility. Use Bezier curves. I change all these keyframes positions. Now we also want it so that when the animation plays, we also want it so that when the animation plays, the opacity of this battery instance is going to turn into 0. Let me increase the zoom to make it clearer. Negative. Let me set this to the 0 mark so that's And now I'm going to keyframe the opacity. So go to mesh instance 2D. Go to modulate, set the opacity to 0 and keyframe it. Yeah. Let me increase the animation to like 3 seconds. Cool. You also want it so that when the animation plays, the enemy is also going to be turning around. So go to transform, rotation, create, down. Oh no. And then I'm going to set this rotation to 360. Then keyframe. And lastly, I am going to tween the scale. Create, set, and then at the end of the animation, I'll set its scale to 0, 0, and then I'll keyframe it again. Cool. Now let's see our animation in action. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. What's happening? Why isn't it working? That is because in our code we haven't actually defined it. If the HP is less than 1, we want it so that this animation player is going to play the animation, the dead animation. Now, defeating the enemies feels much more satisfying. I'm also going to reduce the opacity of the player shooting since it's too much. Go to color, change the opacity to like 100. Now, the last thing we're going to add in this tutorial is sound effects. The last thing we're going to add in this tutorial is sound effects. Open up your browser. Stop. Open up your browser. So now when you open up your browser, search for SFXR download. I'm going to go to the Softpedia. SFXR is a sound effects program that allows you to create sound effects for your game. Download now. Let's see, I'm going to use Softpedia to secure download, and I trust this website. Now wait. Let me download it in the download, save. When it's finished downloading, which should be pretty quick, extract to, go to documents. I'm going to create a new folder called SFXR. Okay. Now it's going to extract. Once it's extract, go to the folder where you put the SFXR. For me, it's called SFXRR. And then open sfxr.exe. This allows us to create sound effects for a game. The first sound effect I want is when the player shoots. I'll create a new I'll create a new folder called SFX, stands for sound effects. This is fine, so I'm going to export the WAV file. I'll go to where I saved it, which is document wave shooter, SFX shoot, and then we need the one for when the enemy gets deleted. I mean defeated, not deleted. Good. I'm going to export the WAV and then search for, and then change to defeat. There we go. So now that I have a sound effect for the player, I'm going to create a new audio stream player 2D, and then I'm going to put the shoot sound effect in it. I'm going to name this to shot, since I can't name it shoot since there's already a no name shoot, and then a little, so that way $sign shot dot play, which is going to play this shot sound effect. And now a bit ear piercing. let me add if then not dollar sign shot dot is underscore playing playing whatever. Whoa. That is. Oh, if they're not shot dot playing, which means if the shot's not, if it is not playing, it's only going to play in the sound. Yeah, let me remove this. I'm also going to write dollar sign shot dot pitch score scale equals rand I underscore range 1,2, which is going to randomize its pitch. Let me also reduce the volume of the sound effect. Let me see if it worked. Now you see that the volume of the sound effect is reduced. Oh, come on. We also need the sound effect for when the enemies get defeated. So, audio stream player 2D again. And I'm going to write defted, short for defeated. And in it, I'm going to put the defeat.wav sound effects. Oh, too loud. Yes. No. It's too quiet. There we go. So now, I'm going to write dollar sign defted.play. And we also need it so that if this, it's also going to randomize its pitch. Pitch underscore scale equals rand I underscore range minus 2,2. It's too creepy. Let me change this to 1 and 1.5. Only a bit of randomization. I also have to put that if then dollar sign deft, if then not dollar sign defted dot playing, it's going to do this. Yeah, let me not randomize the pitch scale. Oh wait, I didn't put it in here. How could I do that? So anyways, let me play it. Now you see our sound effects are working properly. Anyways, that is the end of today's tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel, ObaCode. Bye.